through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. Your spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
And this is how we like to say welcome to this edition of the Bottom Line Liberia Discussions. This beautiful Tuesday, the 21st day.
22nd.
Yes, 22nd. Oh, wait, I'm taking us back. Maybe we got to go celebrate Easter egg one more time. But on the 22nd day of April 2025, we like to say welcome to those of you that are joining us for the first time. And if you always with us, we also want to say welcome. This is your home. With you and us, we can make it look better. Let me welcome my colleagues from around the place. We all seated in different studios. Paul is seated in London in the studio, and Francis Mensah is also in the Royal Kingdom of Sweden, from where he broadcasts, and I am in the Royal Kingdom of Norway. And of course, England is a kingdom. So, if Paul is in London, he's also in the Royal Kingdom of England. So, this is like a royal palace show. But we haven't hosted any of the kings or queens. And Paul there is the direct friend of King Charles. Paul, welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you. My friend King Charles, he haven't been well lately because he's suffering from cancer. So we're wishing all the best. Yeah, it's good to be back on the bottom line for another fascinating discussion tonight. It's good to see you all. How was your Easter, guys?
Well, let me just clear the way before Francis can come in. My Easter was good. I said that, all of you know, I've been down with this cold and I don't know why. I have it so long. It's no more cold. It's just the coffee, short breath. I check. There is no pneumonia, nothing. The people say nothing. The white people, the people say you all right, go home. When you go home, you stay coughing. So, but I had like maybe 10, 11 days of break. So we were able to cross the border to go to Sweden. Just to mix around. And then we came back and we were all over the place, having cool time. And good for us, the weather was good. But the past 2 days now, it's been not very much rain, but just gloomy and little, downfall of rain. Small, not rain to say you get wet, but you're making the place look bad, But we know after this, it's going to be the summer. So we're all looking up to that. But I think the Easter was good. Even though I don't right now, I don't believe in Easter and I don't celebrate it. But I think it was good. The holiday was good, all in all.
Okay, Francis?
Well, the weekend was, it was a very colorful weekend. Easter, you have a lot of food. You have the green and yellow color, signifying the egg and Easter. So it was full of food and family gathering. The weather was not favorable though, So, but yeah, it was good. And we have 4 days. Today's feel like Monday, but today's Tuesday. So on our way to work, everybody was looking like. About like, hey, taking to be Monday, but today's Tuesday. Yeah, so yeah, it's good to be here, and let's roll. Let's have a cool show.
Okay, guys. So having said that, we're gonna take our short musical break, and then when we come back. In fact, just before we take a musical break, we'll all each tell us, tell the crowd or the listeners what's on our mind. While they're thinking about it, then we'll take our musical break. And then when we come back, we'll be discussing those things that are on our mind, and then we'll go directly into our discussion. So, Francis, what's on your mind? Tell me, after a long Easter break, what's on your mind?
Look, what's on my mind is Liberia. the ongoing elections, the politics, and the way our life in Liberia, especially a recent, wave, the wave of mob justice over the years. I think the government needs to take some stand. Oh God, we need to give the court and judicial system a try. I don't know, give it a chance. Though I mean, it is it's widely known that the judicial system, accused is being alleged that it's not functioning well, it's not equal justice, and not there are a lot of things about Rio to carry in your mind. So if we try to see everything to know, not leave. But Liberia is a mountain full of. But then look forward to elections that basically that so that we have a little bit of quiet too in the country, and then all the political hysteria, we try to subside.
Well, what's on your mind?
Right. Well, Linford, thank you. And I want to say good evening from my end to our audience. And want to ask you all to kindly share the show. What's on my mind is Mama Liberia. And I think it's tomorrow will be the build of information about this impasse between the two speakers that we have in Liberia. I hope that the Supreme Court come up with some clarity tomorrow that the country now can see to move forward because it has brought serious tension in the country and chaos. So I hope that will be done tomorrow. And also, Nima County is on my mind. The election uh, that took place today, it was low turnout in Nima County with all the excitement, with all the propagandas that went on for the people, for it to be a low turnout. That's quite interesting. And what does that say for our democracy? Are the people not interested in the candidates that are running, or they just don't care anymore? So that's on my mind. Those two things actually catch my attention. And also, I mean, for the religious people, for those Catholic people, yeah, the Pope passed away. Took Jesus Christ came on Sunday and took him away on Monday. So yes, with this time be with Africa now that celebrate Jesus more than the white people that brought this, will they have the chance now to have a black Pope? That's what's on my mind. Yeah.
Okay, for me, what's on my mind is basically what you guys said, because the common denominator we have is Liberia, and the common patrimony is Liberia. So, I think what you're thinking about is what I'm thinking about, but probably not at the same level. So, basically it is the same. Uh, I'm concerned about the Supreme Court's ruling tomorrow uh, regarding a bill of information filed by the minority group. And the reason why that is actually playing on my mind is that it's gone almost, I don't know how many months, 6 months almost. And
7.
then 7 months. Okay, and nothing good. And yeah, it may seem like the majority is ruling and working, but with the absence of the other lawmakers who were duly or elected by their constituencies, need to be in the house no matter what. They need to speak for their people no matter what. They are not just individuals going to work like, you employ one guy, you come to work and do your work and go home. No, those people, they represent a group of people. So they need to be there. And I'm saying this because some of my representatives from my county are also there. So I think the Supreme Court needs to come out with the decision that that will resolve this thing once and for all. And if that decision is taken, and then another group, one of the two groups, either the minority or the majority group, still remains recalcitrant and defiant, then that means then now the Liberian people will know who is the problem. So we hope tomorrow's ruling will lay the whole thing to rest. And if the executive will want to meddle into it, well, the Liberian people will be the judge or the judges. And the next thing on my mind is the elections or the election in Nima County. And Paul spoke about low turnout. Yes, I mean this is by-election, so it is expected that there will be low turnout in some places. And again, another important point you struck was whether the electors are just tired, because these people come and make all these empty promises, and then at the end of the day, you put them there, they become your enemy. They start to buy bulletproof jeep, they start to fence their houses, and somebody will land down in the doors, and the chiefs were putting that on his back. But if that person is elected, when you look, those chiefs, they will almost have to take some scientific tests to be able to even say hello to you. So I think the people are getting tired. Voters fatigue, and another reason could be that the people know. No, listen, the people brought money, we eat it. Now stay home. You can't, that one that that bloody. You can't go through the people say I give you money, why I don't go? No receipt. So it could be that people getting sense now and say, okay, wait. When they can't go turn out, in our group to make them feel that we are for them. They give all the money, we eat it, we stay home. We're not going to somebody's house and go not do sick, we can't go back. So there are several reasons why. But I think the general reason is that this is not a national election, it's just a by-election. And so the turnout will not be like what it is expected to be. And Nima County being that country that I know, a lot of people got a property, they got a farms, they got a cocoa farm, coffee farms. They need to go there. You think they can go stand online for one Joe Blow and waste their time the whole day? I know people can say, man, go say that, man. If you need the money, you can't do nothing. Then the last thing on my mind is the alleged news of assassination attempt on the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. If it is true, then it's concerning because I think around 200 plus, assassination attempts on him since he came to power. So I think this is troubling, and nobody will know or will want to know what the reasons are for all of those attempts on him. But when we get back, we'll be discussing some of these things in details. First of all, take our short musical break, and while we having a musical break, we'll be sharing the show. Those of you joining us, welcome. Help us to share the show, and we are share the show. And we have wonderful.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not the us. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you screw us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, they can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said, no one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. Telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they said they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that left us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the bottom line, Liberia.
And my name is Linford Goer from Norway, and Paul in Law Triple in England, London, Francis Mensah in Stockholm, Sweden. And together we're bringing you the information that matter a lot to all of us. Tonight is the Tuesday's edition of the Bottom Liberia Discussions, this 22nd day of April 2024. The next time we'll be here, it's going to be Friday, which I guess will be the 26th, I think, or 25th.
Yes.
26th. No, I'm getting very bad calendar, man, because the year goes so fast. But I will be here each week, Tuesday and Friday, to bring you the much needed information. Together we can make it. Once you are with us and we are with you, we can have a great time together. Paul is our man at the information desk, and he has all of the information that we need tonight. So we're starting from Paul. Are we starting from the local front or the international front?
I think let's start from the international front. You talk about, let me say, first of all, good evening to our audience. And if you join here for the first time, kind of share the show. We'll start from the international front, and then we'll end up with Mama Liberia, because Mama Liberia is, at the end of the day, everybody focus in what on our minds is from Mama Liberia. So you did mention something about another assassination attempt on this most famous leader in Africa, Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. And so I got a clip from the Burkina Faso state news on the situation. It's a few minutes, but it's 8 minute clip. I will cut it short just for our audience. This is in French, but then they interpreted what happened, so we can listen to him. We also want to ask our audience to weigh in. What's going on with this young man? They will be the 19th assassination on him. It's a lot, and is that false assassination or something because it's military government? So it's something with that said. But let's listen to what happened in Burkina Faso for the past few days. The video coming up.
Our country has long been in a very complicated system.
It's not that one, it's this one here.
It should be noted that the masterminds outside the country are all located in Côte d'Ivoire, including the aforementioned Bahare Abdrahman. The intelligence services followed the maneuver, which, according to the plan of the terrorist conspirators, was to culminate on Wednesday, April 16th, 2025, in an assault on the presidency of Faso by a group of soldiers recruited by the enemies of the nation. The plot is actively continuing from their operations center in Abidjan with the objective of sowing chaos in Burkina Faso before the month of June. According to this shocking press release from Burkina Faso's minister in charge of security, the following revelations from Burkina Faso's intelligence services have just exposed a chilling betrayal, a coordinated plot involving military deserters, foreign actors, and terrorist leaders, all aimed at collapsing the country from within and placing it back under the grip of foreign control. This wasn't just an attempted coup. It was a full-blown scheme to dismantle a rising sovereign nation. And yet, it failed. Pay attention and listen all through for more details. You will be shocked. Press release. Several weeks ago, intelligence services intercepted multiple communications between an individual and terrorist leaders concerning details of the positions of the defense and internal security forces, the volunteers for the defense of the homeland, as well as military operations. After in-depth technical analysis, the individual was identified as Bahare Abdrahman, a known officer in the Burkinabe Armed Forces. He was identified as belonging to the Military Justice Battalion. Information gathering within his unit of assignment enabled intelligence agents to discover that the officer had been in a situation of unauthorized absence for several weeks and was the subject of desertion proceedings. The surveillance of the communications of the deserter Lieutenant Barry Abdra revealed additional links of interest to the intelligence services, notably with an officer of the armed forces named Compaoré Joanny, a former non-commissioned officer of the Burkinabe Army named Zerbo Lauko, an officer on duty at the Integrated Operations Center of Burkina Faso, Commander Ouedraogo Frederick, an armed forces officer on training in a European country, but a long-time deserter who had joined Abidjan under the name Caboret Constantin. The meticulous work of the intelligence services uncovered a large-scale plot being prepared against our country, whose ultimate goal was to sow total chaos with a view to placing the country under the tutelage of an international organization capable of regaining control in 10 or 20 years, according to the instigators. Sensitive information was passed to terrorists with the aim of increasing attacks against the fighting forces and civilians in order to incite revolt against the authorities. Furthermore, other strategies were developed to disorient the intelligence services in order to lead them to carry out mass arrests within the defense and internal security forces, and thus hope to create frustrations and a sense of fear.
Okay. So it's just a little gist of the situation. So friends say until Lincoln comes back, another cool thing. Captain
Look,
Corey, what's
Paul,
it
look,
from the
I think this
television
is
news?
a scam. It's a calculated scheme to create or generate sympathy for the people of Burkina Faso and to prolong themselves, to perpetuate their stay in power. Because look, it doesn't make any sense to me, any sense, any iota of sense, and that they will place the country under supervision of an international organization. Coup plotters, they're gonna assassinate you and they'll remove a government and then they'll put turn the country over to some international organization. I mean, what is that? UN, ECOWAS, EU, AU, the I call it Al Shabaab. Al Shabaab not international. So look, so look, I think that's that accusation or maybe the claim of foreign or an attempted coup is a shame. It's calculated to gain sympathy from the masses because in the Cote d'Ivoire, the people the attempt in fact it was never the coup did not go on. According to the intelligence, it was fall way in Cote d'Ivoire before they even made an attempt. So yeah, that's it for how
Okay,
I
so
see it.
Lincoln, that's the story that trending all around the social media. There's another cool attempt on this young man. What say you? Francis say it's another fear, something to keep them in power.
Well, you know, having lived in war situation in my own country for years, and during the war, in fact, prior to the war situation, we always lived under this kind of information. That people are coming. First, a long time ago, I remember when Doto Owa, there was this internal wrangling, and we heard that what they got in. Thomas was saying the first president, one of overthrow. He was the first one that went, along with a few other guys, and then later on, the mostly MD Flansameton issue came, and few other guys follow. When follow, they die, and then came the Podia. That some people still say up to today that he was set up, and then he was arrested at the border, coming back to Liberia, and he too went, and the list continues until the war came, and after the war came, it even became worse because, in fact, before the war came was a Kumaba incident, and we always heard all kind of funny names. People like some kind of Prince on the water were coming, and Prince Johnson then came out, all kind of different groups.
Prince Tony Water, yeah.
Yeah, and then we ended up with a full-scale war, and the wartime was even worse because the wartime people were always suspicious. The last time I remember one time on the show, I asked Francis, why do law enforcement officers like the police and other people always suspect people? They say, yeah, because you're not sure the other person, so you always have somebody to suspect in order to keep peace. So we've seen all of this, and like I said, having come from a war-torn country, we have seen some of these things play. Some can be true, it can have iota or true, and some can be based on fear. I remember one of the things I learned during the wartime, and directly from Taylor himself, he said, if you live in this greater Liberia where people are fighting to take us, if you are afraid, all we can advise you to do is to run away and go to where you think is safe. Because if you're sick, we can carry you to the hospital. If you're hungry, we can find food for you. But if you're afraid, we can get medicine for fear. And fear itself, if you define fear, something that you are not sure of. You only think that it will happen. Okay, you see that danger, you envision that danger. So Abraham Traore, like any other military leader, they came to power by force. And it will always be like maybe the same thing we did to other people, it will happen to us. So you can have that kind of fear, hanging over you all the time. You cannot sleep. Imagine, for even with the ordinary people, the civilian, so now you can sit there and feel afraid. You see someone guy come in, look at the guy for long and say, man, the guy looking someone will. Maybe they can appear. Now I'll share a short story with you guys. Right? One time I was coming from the Philippines, right to the airport, man. We from my work city to come to Manila and look. Now we had these guys, my man. Hey man, where beer? No beer, my man. Almost about 18 of them. So then I started my master and we waiting for the same flight. I said, well, go on that flight. I said, hey, go. I'm not sitting near some of the people. They're looking for me, all of them will be me. And all the guys coming to Dubai. Well, God, but looking for me again, when got to Manila, we have to change his flight. They see a group of people again. I say, hey, go. Maybe they didn't do what they want to do on a small plane, a deep plane, So, and everybody was looking on East with these guys. So, just as fear. And like I said, coming from the Abraham Traore, and come from military people taking over, and you still have the same people in arms around you, or some of them ran away, they went. So there will always be this fear. There will always be this fear. And like I said, some can be based on fact, and some can just be based on suspicion. And
perceive. I know.
This happens even in ordinary like civilian circle. Right now we have a civilian government in Liberia, okay, where nobody decides to be in the military, where all the people that work in the office, none of them get gone. But you got attention. Somebody feel that he's threatened by the next guy wants to take his job. They'll fire him and they put the next guy there. So this fear is always there. So when you think about military people, it will always be. But again, we cannot totally deny it and we cannot totally give it credence because you got to weigh it. And I hope the people, the intelligence forces, I hope they have their stories right, because we have seen these things play out where people were lied on and people just die like that, And this is a matter of our own way of judging people. I don't know whether you get witness, you get witness, but the certain question they ask you answer it.
Yeah. And I tend to agree with you, Lynn, for the fear factor. Imagine in Liberia where we don't have military government, if the president can buy $1 million car to protect himself from fear, then what you think about somebody who forced someone out of office? So you're right. I agree with you and Francis. So we got to wait and see if this thing play out, because I know, and security sector too, they want to favor the president in a way. They gave all wrong information that there was a plot here, and people use that to eliminate their own friends. We know that because that's happened to Wesson and other people. I remember in the PRC government when we were small, Wesson came from the football field. What happened? They got him coming from Buchanan and say he planned to assassinate dude, and they killed him free. So you're right. So
no,
watch out. Yeah.
No, but even the MPF and the warring factions around IMPFL, I mean, half of the guys were killed, man. Though they just went to lie. And this guy, even Moses Blah, explained his own story, man. So rest in peace. How he almost died just for lying. How they put him in jail. They had to tie him up. And he explained the story until I got to know that there was a lie. So within that kind of organization where people want to actually seek favor for a president to be like, you always have real and perceived enemies. It could be true, but at the skill, just the moment that after he come on now. The point got work to do. They're fighting jihadists right to the border there. The country is involved with jihadists. I think jihadists got 40% of the land of the country, or they got 40%, and 60%. So it's in the hands of jihadists. So that's an ongoing conflict.
Yeah. So in other news, this is the one. This is about 4 minute clip before we move to Liberia. And Lifa, do you want to welcome some of our new members that are following us today?
Yeah, for sure. Let's welcome Fifi. I don't know who is Fifi. Whether he or she been here before, but Fifi want to say welcome, or welcome to Alain Goe, or also welcome to Pataki, our man from Belgium. And for those of you whose names I cannot see here, I want to say welcome to all of you. Of course, our religious follower, that is Chadela Brown Chilople. She's always here. And in fact, if there is one person on the show, it must be Chadela. If there is ever one person, only one person, she's the one. So, you know, and the reason I'm stressing on Chadela is that I believe in commitment. If I'm committed to doing something, I do it. If I don't want to do it, I will not do it. That's me, you know. So I like to see committed people who say I will do this and you do it, because when you say I will, I mean you bind yourself. You commit yourself. The only person who can move you from there, from what you want to do, is yourself. You see? So if I say I will climb this tree, whether it's tall or not, and Paul can say, but man, don't claim. I say I will claim. Until I say I will not. But you know, so I like to see committed people. And so when you are committed, you can really take me.
I remember that you're talking about being stubborn and committed are two different analogies.
Yeah, but when you are stubborn, you are committed to what you want to do. That's why you're not stubborn.
Your coconut balls of fire on that tree that high been here when I come.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Before we move to the other one, we'll take a quick commercial break from our one of our sponsor here. So, and then after that, we'll talk about Europe before we move to Liberia. The Euro thing won't be long, so a quick commercial break. Let's listen to this.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace, Hems vocal, Liberia number one vocal, Liberia number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hems Vodka, Hems Honey, Hems Bitter, and Hems Original Vodka. Hems Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drink Mama happy. Hems Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hems Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000 We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hems Vodka or www.hensvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hems North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hems Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hems Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my boy and my blood. Every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it. We are stand. And forgot that number one. Oh, from Liberia all around. In supermarket store and everywhere. And forgot that number one. Oh.
Yeah, we thanks Hems Vodka for our official sponsor of the bottom line. So for those of you who haven't had Hems Vodka, it's all over Liberia. It's so in as Europe as well. We'll soon put a Europe number in the near future. So Linford, this is where we are. Let's go into European news before we hit Liberia, because I got a text message saying that Sani Kode Ide Gongo where is leading from the count that came in just now. So we'll talk about that, but let's talk about Euro a little bit from this new clip. Then we have our audience to also talk to us. This is about Europe, the war in Ukraine, and NATO. It's just a 4-minute clip, won't be long, and then we just say we want our audience to also have an input on what they're going to hear. Let me let this roll.
The warning bells of war are ringing loud in Europe, and this message is coming straight from Moscow's highest corridors of power. Russia appears to be bracing for a direct confrontation with NATO, not a Cold War, not a diplomatic spat, but an actual military face-off. Russian President Vladimir Putin's top spy chief has publicly accused the NATO of increasing its military activity in the border area surrounding both Russia and Belarus. And this, he said, has prompted both Russian and Belarusian security services to prepare for, quote-unquote, preemptive measures against NATO countries. While holding talks with the Belarusian president, the head of Russia's SVR Foreign Intelligence Service has said, and I'm quoting here now, "We feel and see that European countries, especially France, Britain and Germany, are increasing the level of escalation around the Ukrainian conflict. So we need to act preemptively. We are ready for this," quote unquote. And the spy chief further said that Russia would inflict quote-unquote damage on the entire military alliance if NATO threatens Moscow or Belarus, adding that Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia would be, in his words, the first to suffer. Remember, in April 2022, Russian bombers and fighters practiced delivering surgical strikes in drills in the Baltic region. The drills involved over 10 crews of Su-24M and Su-27 aircraft. But why is Narishkin saying all of this really? Is the NATO actually building its forces near Russia and Belarusian borders? You see, just 2 weeks ago, Germany deployed a 5,000-strong armored brigade in Lithuania, marking Germany's first permanent foreign troop deployment since the Second World War. And where did they place them? Right on Lithuania's border with Belarus. And there's more, by the way. Poland and the Baltic states like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania announced plans to withdraw from an international treaty banning the use of landmines, citing growing threats from Russia. And in mid-February, Finland and American troops carried out massive drills preparing for a winter war near the Arctic region. And just earlier today, the Finnish government decided to keep the border with Russia shut until further notice, without specifying any further details. So as the NATO increases troop presence in its eastern flank and carries out drills for a future war, we are circling back to that big question: what do preemptive measures really mean for Moscow? Just last December, Belarus's president said the country is hosting dozens of Russian nuclear weapons and was in the process of preparing facilities that could accommodate Russia's latest hypersonic ballistic missiles. And just last Friday, Putin said Russia's naval-based nuclear weapons have been completely modernized. You have to listen to this.
The share of modern weapons and equipment in the naval strategic nuclear forces in Russia is already 100%. And I would like to emphasize that this figure must be maintained in the future.
And Russia's 2024 doctrine now treats any conventional attack backed by nuclear powers as a ground for atomic retaliation, a direct threat to NATO's Article 5 Mutual Defense Pact. So, with the NATO boosting troops near Russia's borders, Eastern European countries pulling out of arms treaties, and Moscow preparing for preemptive action, the war bells between Russia and the NATO are ringing loud and clear.
That is the international front from Europe. And we know that Donald Trump has been calling for peace, but then a lot of European countries not interested in that. They call this group, they call themselves the coalition of the waiting. And it's heating up. I think this thing has been dragging on for a while. They're not talking peace talk. They keep talking about more money, more arms. So, guys, what say you? I think at some point in time, these countries they will have it. They will have it. I can't see this going away anytime soon, because if they wanted peace, when Donald Trump came and started talking about peace, they all need to say, "Look, let's start flying to Putin, and then let's bring these two parties to book." But it seems that the European countries not waiting to do that. They keep talking about more money, more arms. Europe have to defend itself. Germany now, France, and the UK in particular pushing the thing. So, what say you guys, man, from the video tip? And we also want to hear from our audience. Francis, what say you?
The latest information I got as it relates to the war in Ukraine, Putin, sources say, according to the news here, Putin is considering ceasing the war because America has promised him that Ukraine would not be allowed into NATO. There's no way they're going to be giving a membership status into NATO. So he feels that's a right step in the right direction. So he's hoping now to to end the war, because America, has promising that there'll be no Trump has said it emphatically that NATO membership, Ukraine is not going to get near it anytime. It's in the news reading right now. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, secondly, look, Putin must be under some spell if he thinks he can attack France, the UK, in Germany. The three countries, they all got nuclear weapons. And he must really be planning a coordinated attack on these three countries if he wants to fight them. So I think it's all about scare tactics, and then he could attack these small countries like Lithuania, Poland, and other countries, but not France, not the United Kingdom, not Germany. Yeah,
Right.
It will be the total destruction of Russia if he does that.
In that clip, it said that the UK, France, and Germany are building their troops in the Baltic states. So they're around there, so around Belarus. So that's the concerning. Why are they building their group around there? And so is that if you're building our forces, it might be some reason behind you building our forces around there. What is the motive? And that based on that motive, I think
the motive is that the both countries' intelligence, they are saying that they are building a defense.
So, but the UK is far away from the UK is far away from Russia. They're not even sharing border, and they get over 100,000.
But UK is part of alliance, my friend.
So then Russia too have an alliance. There's South Korea, the China,
I'm forced to jump in right here. No, let me tell you one thing. WAR.
War.
War. It's not football fee. It's not football fee to say they get referee.
Direct talks.
You got a group of people, group of countries calling themselves NATO, fighting, threatening to fight Russia. Some of them physically building, garrisons. They are amassing troops in countries closer to Russia. And you think Russia to get friend? Or because the friends not talking? Because you see, they call themselves NATO, and we know the NATO members. But Russia, that all know. But Russia got friends. So the friends of Russia will not kind of make noise around here. Okay? No, even the devil get friends.
It's open secret that Russia has his friend. Russia has Hungary. They have North Korea.
But give me a chance. So why are you underestimating Russia, saying that if they attack the three countries, then let me tell you one thing. The three countries, or the whole of NATO, put together with some of Russia's friends there, maybe one or two of Russia's friends that can bombard them, they can clear them 1 minute. Let me tell you, that's a fact. People will not want to hear it as a fact. So, some of your own European countries, our own European countries, they're telling you they ain't even got anything. Yeah? Then you call it NATO. They ain't got anything. Military, some of them, their military reach 500. Some of them, I know Iceland or Greenland, one of them, they ain't get military. They say they will support money.
So when he's talking specifically about France, he talked specifically about France, Germany, and England.
How big are those countries in terms of manpower, in terms of land mass, and how big are they? England.
Yeah, it's not how big it's because how much military they are prepared, how strong they are. Israel's a small country.
We're not encouraging war.
Israel's a small country, but Israel has all the military capacity.
You see, which country has never fought Israel?
France,
which country has
the country that have the most nuclear arm on the planet Earth compared to the countries that have just little hand of it, building forces around the one that have the largest nuclear arm compared to the USA, and you building forces around him. What the motive of you building forces? So these guys now on your leg, if you building forces around us, that means we now prepare for you. That's why the Russians are telling them we are prepared for you. So keep building your forces. And now Russia in alliance with Belarus. Belarus said we also been given nuclear weapon too to protect ourselves. So if these guys are building forces that concerning, why would France not even sharing border with Russia? If it was Poland, Lithuania, all of these countries in the Baltic States that share, then you realize that, okay, we'll defend, but you left from on the island to carry over 100,000 men to do what? Then the other men who part of your alliance say, look, there must be peace. You're not even listening to him. And that is the concerning of the Russian. That's what, if you build your forces now.
Paul, the other side of it here is that if these NATO countries, they really want peace, they shouldn't be building troops. They should be, even if they got anything, I mean, every country has the right to protect itself. That is the God-given right of all the citizens of a particular country, protection. You got to live in peace. You got to live under peace. But to do it in a threatening way to the next person, in as much as Europe or NATO countries have the right to protect themselves, the same way Russia too have right to protect itself. So if Russia see that you are doing it in a threatening way, they too will get ready. And like I said, even the devil get friend. Everybody got a friend too. But Russia on a friend will not make noise, making up because NATO power is one group. Everybody know them. They know the numbers already. So Russia can point them up. Or in Russia pointing, if NATO go to attack Russia pointing them with power. How that NATO did not expect. Somebody please. Yeah. So let's say if something breaks up and then NATO is fighting Russia, I mean, I'm just supposing, right? And then NATO see the kind of firepower that coming from Russia, it resembles Russia. They say, but how now Russia will underestimate that? How they fighting how so? So who they'll go fight? They can't fight no other person because they're fighting Russia. But Russia probably no NATO. So Russia can bomb Poland, they can bomb England, they can bomb France because they know they are NATO members. You see it? But if NATO wants to fight, they will not be fighting Russia. Who else will fight? But Russia getting support from other people that you don't know. And you can't go suspect anybody and fight and say, we think you people supporting Russia, then now you're spreading the war. So you see, it's dangerous. And the point I'm making here is that we should not encourage it. We should not underestimate anybody, any country. Like I said, war has no referee. It's not a UEFA league where you got referee and two linesmen. No. War ain't get no referee. War, you don't know where it will come from. And never underestimate any country because you don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys, this is from the international front. So let's go down to Mama Liberia. And Mama Liberia is always fascinating, guys. The by-election in Nima County, it was a poll turnout. What say you guys? This is Front Page Africa reported low turnout from Nima County. So with all of this excitement that were going, we saw crowds upon crowds behind all of the candidates. Then in the end, what happened? The people decided we ate their money, we go on our cassava or rice farm. We don't care about you. We know you, all of you politicians are crooks. Liberians don't trust them anymore. So you elect whoever you want to elect. Let them go and steal their own money too. What say you guys? This is it. Nima County, the most talked about county.
Put that picture up. Put that picture up again.
This, yeah.
Please.
Okay, I'll put it up.
Yeah, put it up again. Okay, you see the empty chairs. Now, let me play the devil's advocate here. Maybe the time Front Page Africa took this picture. It was just in the morning. People were still getting ready to come. So I don't think the whole voting center will be like this. But on a serious note, guys, two things we must consider. If we take this story to be authentic, I know Front Page Africa will not lie, but few things we must look at. When the Front Page Africa reporter take this picture, one, it could be too early, that the people have not yet started turning out. Two, it could be after the people have voted and gone. And three, which is one of the most reasonable reasons, could be that the voters are just tired with the lies from the politicians. Now listen, there is one of the candidates in the race, Samuel Koga. I saw a video from the road going to a village, even his own village around the town. It looks like one forest. And he had been representative. He had not done anything there. But he wants to leave the representative job that he got assured. Then he wants to go for senator. Tell me, what sense does it make? This is desperation. No, Paul, in life, be content. Do not be overly ambitious and anxious. You go to fishing, right? Maybe you want to catch whale in your net. But when catfish get there, you throw the catfish down, you go look for a whale that you know, or you know where it is. You go look for it. Take that catfish that got in your net first and put that one somewhere. Let it be land and then why you look for a whale. But the guy, he got a job as a representative. Okay, let's just make it until 2029. But he will lead that one and say, I will just pray for Prince Johnson to die so I can go become senator. And that's why when people even accuse him of being one of the people who frustrated Prince Johnson so much that, in fact, when Prince Johnson was alive, I had a recording, but on my old phone, I still got it, but it's on my old phone, it damaged, I can't see anything. The glass is broken, I can't see anything, but I know that phone still working. If I change the glass, I can find that recording. Prince Johnson said, Samuel Koga is greedy. Samuel Koga is not a good person. I got a recording in one of his interviews. It's not a video, it's a recording. I got a recording. I play it many times in my car. I know it because it comes after rest, right after one song that I love. So for me to cue that song, I always run to that recording before I can come to the song. So, and if this guy is a representative and he's rushing to leave this job just to go become senator that he know he cannot win. And I think NEC should have also set a rule that if you are senator, I mean your representative or any position you got in government and you want to go for a higher one, you should resign. So when you resign, then we know that you're not working again. Then you can go. Because if you don't win, that means you'll be unemployed. But the guy is playing trick. He got a job that is secure. Then he got one under his arm. Then he want to go. He tell me and Paul go fishing like I was saying. Paul catch one coffee. I catch one coffee. I put my own coffee under my hand. Then I go for Paul on coffee in a net. Can you imagine? This is pure greediness. This is not good. So they turn out to be the result of the voters being tired of the lies that these people come with. And like you said, maybe they say, okay, we'll eat your money. You're bringing money. We all saw the turnout when Eric Kennedy went somewhere, we saw the turnout. And we saw there are videos on the internet here where VP was sharing money himself. So the people say, okay, let's go for our money. They money for us. The people are bringing it back to us in another form. So the people eat the money and they say, we'll stay home, we'll not go vote. Who you go cash? You don't sign no contract. They didn't get you receipt. You don't get a receipt. Okay? That bloody. So no receipt. So the people, if they didn't even turn out to right, if I were there, I'll do the same. I'll go to every voting center and tell people, you'll stay home. The money we ate, that's more money we're even eating. So there are several. So those are few of the reasons why I think the turnout was poor, according to a report. Either the people are tired with the lie, and the people will say, "Look, eat the money and stay home," or it is that the timing was wrong for the reporter who took a picture. Either he was there before the people came, or he went there after the people had left.
Right. So, friends say, oh, Linford said maybe from the when they early morning or after or sometime. But when some up in Liberia, we saw for electricity, so usually people go to a poll early to cash their ballot.
Look, guys. Yeah, I don't see the reason why people will be celebrating low turnouts to elections, whereas elections should be the panacea of change, should be where people should go and exercise their inalienable rights as citizens of a country to go and exercise that right. Elections is very important because it helps you to change systems. If you stay away from elections, what good will it do you? I mean, what you stay away from, it will maintain the same kind of crooks. So you should go there to change systems. If you went to elections and your candidate did not win, then you have a reason to say a protest or do something contrary. Yeah, according to the information I gathered from the radio this evening on OKFM and the Both Spoon Network, during the latter part of the day, because I think the polling station was closing by 6 o'clock. So around 4:35, people were coming people were going, to the polling stations. Yeah, but this is it's a normal phenomenon. According to statistics, by-elections do not have the same level of turnout as the presidential and legislative elections. There were a couple of analogies why the elections, the turnout was so low. Paramount among people were the choking. They said one of the probability was that people were choked during the presidential and legislative elections. And these
Yeah.
people do not have the means. Most of the candidates that that were contesting during elections at the time, they're not participating in the elections again, so they did not have the means for them to come to the election to bring the people back. Or some of them just went. Some people were taken away from Nima to go, vote in other part of places like in Morovia. They didn't have the means. They don't have the means to come back. They stay in Morovia, and those who came here to vote in Nima County during the elections went back to their various cities. Did not have money to come back, again to vote. So people may have lost their voter registration cards. That's a common thing. Our people, there were no new issuance of new voter registration cards, and some people will be sick or some people die. These are factors that we have to consider. The low turnout is a common phenomenon. So I hope that those people who willingly refuse to go to elections, they shouldn't have any voice or to be crying, oh, this person, what if this person didn't do? And they vote the wrong candidate in, you have yourself to blame.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Friend said you are right, because during the presidential election, with all of the representatives, people from various parts of the country to go there. And so is that something that NEC need to look at now after the presidential election? If there is a by-election for the people that live in a particular place, for them to have new voter registration, because based on this, we know that thousands of people from Monserrado County to Nima for some representative district election. And now those guys, they're not going to spend money on them, and those people are not going to pay their ticket, buy tickets, say I'm going to Nima, and then look for a place to stay. So all of that factors, you're right, it could be. And also people die in the process. That's the fact. And all of people decide, say, no, I'm not interested in voting for anyone, so I will sit on my phone. So that could be another factor. Yeah. So in the end, we might have another crook again that will be put into office, because it seems to me the crooks people always, they are loyal to their crooks family. They will turn out, then we'll have another crook. And then everybody cries, say, oh, the legislature is the problem in Liberia. They are the problem. But we ourselves the problem, because if I allow somebody to truck me from one end to another end, and then time for serious election, I don't have money to go there. This is where you get. I don't know when will Liberia graduate from this trucking business. I don't know whether NEC need to do something to put some kind of law down. I don't know, but it is what it is.
Yeah, before Mulifa comes in, when you mentioned about NEC putting into place some mechanism that would deter people from coming from outside the consequences to come and vote in other precincts or areas. It's going to be I don't think it's difficult. Look, because like me, where I probably have the sophistication here, and the people are serialized in a way, not to respect the people in Liberia. The people are serialized and know what is right, what is wrong here. For me, when I'm going to vote, I go to my town hall, my community town hall, and my name is there. I go, I show my ID card. They send the card home. They send a notification home. So you go home, you go there, you go vote, you know what you're going to vote for. You just go there.
And your address is already there. They can see that you live. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Against your name, Francis Mensah, he lives so and so. Your ID card, you correspond with, because you have your social security number, it's there. Sure. Yeah, So I don't think it's quite different from Liberia, but the thing is that integrity, self-respect is an issue. It is an issue in Liberia. People say poor. Yeah, you can be poor, but you have integrity and self-respect. you won't be allowed for you to be, to take you from your area where you could make changes by voting there, your lawmaker, take it from a rover and take to Nima County for $20.
Tell you.
And leave you there. Or maybe, you can't find a way back. He's stranded after elections. So I don't know if there's anything extra the National Elections Commission can do to curtail that. I don't know. Maybe they are thinking about some other ways, but yeah, I don't think it should be that difficult for it. Is that it is the people themselves. Yeah.
So you see, Batika is saying here, looking at this picture, it seems to be around 3 to 4 p.m. So the Leaf also, this is why it is. So we're going to have another crook, but I see somebody.
I think Bataki is making some very good point. Like I said before, the timing. When did the reporter take this picture? Was it early in the morning? If you look at the chairs, the shadows of the chairs are not too far. Yeah, I think the shadow is 3 to 4 is too late, according to the knowing Liberia. 3 to 4, where we live, the part of the world we live, the sun just goes on our side, doesn't directly get over here. But in Liberia, the sun can get over here. So if you look at the picture, it's between latest 2 to 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock. Look at the shadows. The shadows are
that's how the sun can be extremely hot.
Yeah, and the shadow, if you stay, your shadow can be right under you, right? So it was mid of the day. But Francis raised a point that I want to just comment on small. He was trying to say, why do people stay away from elections? It is their right to vote. Yes. I'm glad I used that word, that it is an inalienable right to vote. Nobody give it to them. My right is my right. I can decide to use it or not to use it. So if I'm supposed to work and get paid, I take my pay, I go put all the money in the water. Somebody can tell you, put the money in the water, that's my pay, that's my right. I decide what to do with it.
Therefore, there are two different scenarios there.
No, your right is your right. Nobody can tell you how to use your right.
And when it comes to your right, in terms of your country, where you as your nationalist,
I was trying to make
everybody deciding not to go to because
I was trying to make a point, and you just
okay, make your point.
The point I'm trying to make is that in as much, let's first of all agree that it is our right to vote. Simple. When we all agree, then now we see how they will use this right, because your right is your right. Nobody can take it from you, and nobody can tell you how to use it. So if these people have been voting for people all the time, the people can lie to them. And I say, okay, it's my right to vote. I vote. Then you lie to me and you ill-treat me. So, and this time around, I say, no, I'm not going to waste my vote. I'll keep it. I'll stay home. So why you want to blame me? And the I call it, the evidences are all over the place that these people have been lying to the people. They come and lie. Time for election, nothing can happen. Okay. So I think, like I said, one of the reasons could be voters fatigue. The people just tired. So I better go on my farm. Nima County, the people, they are very industrious. You can see a 15, 20-year-old, in fact, 15 years, 16-year-old boy, maybe you get 2 wives with several children. You got big cocoa farm. So that man will say, but when I leave my cocoa farm business to go for somebody who and I don't even know. And guess what? Some of these people that
said that one again, they wanted 2 wives. That one it making me envious, making me jealous.
Or what?
The man got 2 wives, my man.
Yeah, so you see,
the guy from Senegal.
No, they said Nima County people.
Yeah, Nima County boys. Some of them 16, 17 years, they get 2 wives with 3, 4 children. So that man, that country, they always get plenty people, plenty children. Number one, right. Their pleasure.
So, but I want to ask you a question here. I mean, don't you think because people, there haven't been any serious talk or debate or how these people will help these people? We only see rally, everybody sing the muya, muya, muya. It's in that time that we Liberians to make the election more interesting for the people. Let's start like giving money. Let people sit down and have that discussion. Let people listen to how their life will be changed. Don't think it will help the people. Then go in one place, you give them money, and everybody say, "You will eat your money time, come go sit down in the village."
Paul,
the way that people strategize. I mean, it's just a thought. What do you think?
Paul,
Yeah.
Look, all the candidates tell the people they will be roles, they will do this and do that. The major problem is that, look, it's fulfilled their electoral promises. All you guys can say the best thing for the country during elections, but as soon as they get into power, different thing. Again, so they either complain that there's not sufficient money, and they carry also on the budgets. They're going to talk one day. And they think that the market thing he promised people there, he built something, he put small chickens hot on the road there for the people, and that's it. So and we got the soundboard is big. The soundboard is more expensive than the building. So
I will tell you again.
They put to not everything they promised to put for during campaign did not fulfill it. Some people, they never fulfill it.
Okay, so before Linford, hold on. Francis is saying something. Isn't that time that the people to start picking up? Look, if this guy promised me and he didn't deliver, there's a way we can punish this person, because I think we don't really understand our own constitution, the power that the people have. They can do something, petition the person. I think you get over 10,000 signatures. They can remove that person.
Yeah.
It's something that I think the people need to do something. Then
that
to them.
That should be the trend now. That they should be doing. If people tend to come and just sweet talk, give a lot of all of the clear blue sky promises, telling you guys they're gonna build little mountains on their or skyscrapers and do this and for that and this for you guys, and they don't. Go and petition people, collect the names of and numbers, and go and then call for the impeachment of the people. That should be the next trend. That should be the
again. Let me come in here, and I come back to Francis's point where he said the people should exercise their right. No, let me tell you. They say you can, a good woman, you can lie to her to pregnant her, but you can lie to her to win the baby. So every time you lie to these people here, so the people can say, no, listen, they're 14 thing, and I go there and I go there. Nobody will put me in jail. So they straight me and I go in there. Simple. Because all that long process where you talk about the people should petition to go, the person the people who they voted for. The representative and senator they voted for in the last election. How many times they can see the month time or years time?
These things happen in the Western country. It happened.
Brother, Western country, man. Liberia, that Western country. Why? No, the first thing when we're addressing Liberia issue,
we can't test it. We can't test those issues. We can't test these things that are fundamental or fundamental tenets of democracy.
My brother, okay, you ask him why we can't do it, right? Just to follow common rule of law, where your representative, the people supposed to be making law, are in the house illegally removing each other, and they're not following law. So who are you, the common citizen down there that can't even go on the capital building ground to change anything? Your lawmaker, they made their own salary. They can decide how much to pay, other people. Your lawmaker, they tell you, say, you are forced to back out for us in the 6 years time we are there, you got back out for us 2 times. The 9 years time we are there, you back out for us 2 times. You can't change it. You can't do nothing about it. So all the things you're talking about, the people should go impeach at this, it will not work, my brother, because the power seems to be in the book. It says it's inherent in us as citizens, but no, it is inherent in them because they make it, they keep it, they can execute it. So we are just there as observer, the best our role really
No,
understand.
but Linford, I think the people not smart enough or educated enough to know that they have the power to remove whoever they put in a person lie to them.
That's a me problem.
And that should be that should be where now people should advocate and say, look, if this guy promised to build market, he built a signboard that expensive motor market hall the tower one way that Francis just mentioned. Your color signature and remove that person from there because he lied to them. If that happens all across the country,
that's a rare procedure.
Have serious
it will take a long time. That's a rare procedure, but it will take a long time. I think what we should be
if you set example of one person, if example is said of one person, this happened in Bapolu District 5 or District 2, then other people start doing it. There might be some start from somewhere.
Yeah,
because then you find out that
the people
don't joke with the voters.
The people are resolving to say we're not going to put nobody there. We're not voting for nobody. Now, okay, but
the thing is, if like this,
let's take out a win. If you vote, you go to vote, somebody will win.
Go and vote, you will still have a winner. You still have somebody.
Yeah, but
that's
you're listening. I agree. Somebody will still win, but the Abu killing them who are jumping all over the place, they may not win. You see it? So that's a lesson. That's how it. Huh?
Yeah, but you still have some crooks. That's the whole point. So now you go home and say, "Oh, for Christ's sake, we get another crook." But you
good to put new crook there.
If
good to put new crook there, then to put the same old crook, there. So if they deny that crook,
what I'm saying, because
if they deny that crook,
your one vote. I mean, the gap maybe that you don't want. Because you sat home, somebody went and put him there. Then you're angry. So it's good to exercise
at least that would be a new crook. That would be a new crook. But the old crook.
How certain are you that a new crook will be there? Why the same old crook will go?
I agree.
It could be the same old crook.
No, but
yeah, because listen now, they get it right yet. Oh, guys, leave for though. The old crook will make sure that people go and vote. That would be the old crook. He will make sure that his supporters go and vote for him. And because his people are his supporters are loyal.
That's supposition. You see, that's what I'm talking about. You're not sure of in this case where the citizens.
So you sure?
Well, no, I'm not sure either. But the point I'm making here is to not be sure that the old crook will carry. No, in this case, consider everybody neutral. Where you see
No. I don't care about neutral. People supporting the people that guys support us.
Okay, right now. Okay, wait. So you mean the people get supporter who went to the polling center? Where are the supporters now?
That's why it's empty. That's the question.
So show me.
So if five person turn out here, it could be that 5 person for Koga, the guy who want to spend another 9 years. Then the other people say, "Oh, we sat home and they put Coca there, but Coca shouldn't have been there." So that's why
you are just amassing. You are just guessing. So let's say the 5 person that turned out 2 for Koga, 1 for the other 3 for other people. Okay, and it happened like that. So Koga might not win. You see the point I'm saying. The crowd that
I agree. That's what I'm saying. So we cannot say anyway. But if you said home.
Do not be carried away by the crowd. We saw this in the general elections. Do not get carried away by the crowd. The crowd will always turn out for a few reasons. Number 1, to see. Number 2, to get what they can get. Okay? So the crowd, look at Liberia, look at Montreal. When Mr. Coming School, you see the same crowd. By the time you turn it back, draw we are going, the same crowd can. With the same clothes, oh no, you turn it back, Boaka go, the same crowd. So do not get carried away by the crowd. The crowd will always come for a few reasons. What they can get, or they want to see, or they want to be part of the show. Let's be some people. So the actual voting day determines the outcome of the vote. So, but in any case, like you guys were right. In any case, even if 5 people vote, somebody still got to win. But me, what I don't want,
they will have a winner.
Yeah, the winner should not be the same crooks. I need put new crook there, but it should not be the same crook.
But the winner should not be. So if people said home. What's the guarantee that you don't have the same crook? And
Okay,
this is the point.
But at least At least
the thing I'm telling you now, because
that same close should not $1 crowd.
the okra got the means of tell him he's showing that his people go there, monitor them. The new cook they got a means.
No, but then just say all the people that will turn out will be for the okra.
No, get it.
No, the thing is,
realistically,
don't you know in election, the bad people, for some reason, the bad people crowd always follow them. The good people, they'll say, oh, that people think, let's say at home. Then a bad person get in. This is how it been in Liberia.
Yeah,
and then they start crying.
Yeah, and that's a serious reason. In I know some people that I know personally, the last presidential election, I said, people think people to be educated people. The way you're not going, I know personally, but I can call a name. You ask them to say yeah, I'm not going to vote. And people that they see old people, they see old people. Now they're crying. Some of them working for government or they're crying. If you are going to vote, maybe you have saved your job and position. The rescuers won't be there. You will be enjoying your job. People like no. So
you know the team both sides, right? Everybody who registered is turn out to vote. So one crew will stay win. So if plenty people stay home, if 2 people vote, one crew will stay win. So there's no guarantee that when everybody go vote, the back crew will not vote.
Guarantee. That one we agree where you live for. No guarantee. Yeah. So guys, let's move on to the next one before we close. So we call being 1 hour mark. Now let's do a quick commercial break and then we'll go to the bureau information and then close out.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace, Hems Vocal, Liberia number 1 right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hems Vodka, Hems Honey, Hems Bitter, and Hems Original Vodka. Hems Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drink Mama happy. Hems Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hems Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000 We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hems Vodka or www.hensvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hems North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hems Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hems Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my boy and my blood, every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it, we are spot. Hems Vodka, that number 1, from Liberia all around, in supermarket store and everywhere, Hems Vodka, that number 1,
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the bottom line, Liberia.
Okay, welcome back, and we've been here. and Papa, I was looking at the Hems Vodka, right? They who tasting it? They are testing you. I see all the guys tasting one. Go taste the one before they go in. Correct? He charge.
My man Francie, I've tasted that drink. It's very nice. So Francie can talk about it, my man.
No,
hangover.
That Madame Sally's favorite drink that she doesn't buy no other drink.
Oh, the woman can blend it too.
Oh yeah, she loved that. She loved it. She loved the
Now them man Joey fine how it be.
the honey stuff. Honey bucket. She
Ever know
loved it.
ever know how man
She
Joey
loves
can get
it.
shala. Well, how about GMB
But
can get
do
shala.
you?
I don't know.
Oh, GMB can cut. Oh man, forget that thing. All the
Hey,
bad
Kizzy man. Hey, Kizzy man.
I think I caught.
But when I work on a GC man can't take that thing. My man
I
don't
tell
do
you.
that thing to the papi. Papi can cut.
Hey, Kizzy Fanta.
Anyway,
Not a small thing.
yeah, that small thing, oh, they can cut though. That two thing, pay more and then anyway, guys,
I know,
tomorrow,
right?
tomorrow there'll be a bit of information. The long-awaited Supreme Court. They're going to finally define in simple English what that word, Latin
My
word.
man, I trust no people will count. So I'm gonna find one now. I call ultra viral. They want to be intra viral.
So the people going to speak Walasa English tomorrow, my brother. They're going to simplify it for people that didn't go to law school, because they say when they did it for law school people, the law school people fool the people. So this time around,
Wait, before
they're
you go
going to
further.
make it very simple.
Yeah, but wait, a simple thing. Before you go further, they not get that security because they put half a security. They get any security first.
Well, they're getting a better my man. If they ask for security, that is something.
People will beat them from the government or the opposition will beat them. Which one?
They already get
that's
security. They just want to addition, but I don't see the point.
Right.
So nobody gonna harm them. So tomorrow they're gonna have the thing here.
Can you imagine some Georgia Supreme Court will say that kind of thing? I mean that.
The people that are human beings, in fact, remember that those people that who judging all the BB cases, theft cases, or organized thing. The same people who judging the cases, they come to you, they say they come to government and say, okay, your security, something wrong. That's something they see that you don't see. The people know.
Maybe you're right.
The whole security team Benin Africa is just complete fiamomo here. That being honest, they just complete nonsense. Liberia we're not that bad set of people. We respect the guys that steal from us.
Already they find the in the time there. So we're not bad.
No, listen, the one that steal from us, we worship them. But if they want the 10 guy that come from what they call the Zogo camp and pick your pocket, they will beat that one. But the guy that steal big money from you, you worship him. So we need security for the people. These are all criminals.
The reason why we worship him, you'll give us small thing. But the man who go pickpocket, I'm not gonna give you nothing.
So you beat a pickpocket then. So what if the men who wash it need security? Everybody that they give him money that security. So tomorrow they build up information. So this is been reported that one bishop is asking the Supreme Court to be very clear on their language, very simple language. You see, so the bishop is asking, Bishop Brown is asking and urging Supreme Court to clarify the build of information to make it very simple. Make the English language simple.
Bishop Brown for the Council of Churches.
That elementary school said. Elementary students will understand that, this is what it means, because we won't hear autoviral or intervirus or something, some kind of word that will confuse even the lawyers in Liberia. So the Supreme Court have this thing tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that's I'm saying you are so much anticipating this clarification through the bit of information. Do you think the decisions from that, from the Supreme Court, their interpretation or will you think it will solve the matter you and lean for?
No. What's going to happen? At least the country will have the clear understanding of what the Supreme Court meant by that ultra viral. At least we all know. But in the political theater, it's not going to solve it. We all
Smart
understand
man.
that, but we have the
Smart
clear
man.
understanding.
Smart man.
So that's what's going to happen. So at least now, then when we're talking, we talk with that clear understanding. So someone who didn't go to high school, we know what they mean it. Oh, the Supreme Court said this. So my water or my miata said in the market, she also will be able to say, oh, so they all they for is this is what really meant. So we'll get the understanding tomorrow. Then the country move forward.
Man Juba insano, she understand that thing called the Kupo Little Bogo.
Francis, if I got your question correctly, you're asking whether the Supreme Court's ruling on his bill of information will help to solve the problem, right?
Yes, sir.
And Paul said no, right?
He said, yeah.
Yeah, I said no. I said we'll have the clear understanding of it.
For me, I'm on the other side. I would say yes. I would say yes. It will help to solve the problem. And you know why it was help to solve the problem? Because the Supreme Court's ruling, I'm sure, will be based on law, will be based on the rule of law. By saying, even if they say what the lawmakers are doing or the majority group is doing is not right, there will be law to quote. And if they say the majority is not right, there will also be law to quote. So once the law is there to prove what they are saying, it will help to solve the problem. Because the thing here is that I think the sticker issue here is whether the minority was right or the majority is right. That's where the problem is. So if the Supreme Court can come up with a clear ruling and say, "Look, listen, minority, you have the right not to accept the majority speaker because blank, 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 and here's the law that guides it," we'll understand. Then the Liberian people will now understand. Then, like I said before from the opening of the show, if any of the two groups becomes recalcitrant, if they become, like disobedient to the ruling of the Supreme Court, then now we know who the real problem is. But right now, as it stands, with that big English called ultra-virus, you'll go by and do what you're not doing right. Who are not doing it right now? Was it the majority or the minority? So they left it vague that time. But if they come out with a clear ruling this time, I think it will help to solve the problem, because now they will set me and Paul can go to court, then the judge look at two and say two or you're wrong. One person got to be right. Then one will be there. They will know two or wrong. Or you can say two or you're right. So then why would win there? So somebody will have to be wrong and somebody will have to be right in this case now. And you got to tell the person why they are right or why they are wrong. So I think if they give that ruling and backed by law, I think it will help to solve the problem to some extent. Because if we say it will not help to solve the problem, that means there was no need for them to even come up with answer to the bill of information. That means the situation should just continue as it is. So somebody will have to be wrong, or somebody will have to be right based on the law, the interpretation.
So, from your explanation, I think I have one question for you before I leave.
Yeah, sure.
So, the three branches of government, who are they? Are they all equal? Except, what they are? They are equal and what? Separate branches of government, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You yet have one plenty tomorrow after tomorrow.
Yeah, and because and one of the things that have been the problem we have been having is when people come up with this thing that the three separate branches of government and they all not equal. No, tell me, okay, let's say the select people who come up with that idea that the three branches of government are not equal. So let's move, because we are democratic form of government, so we should have three equal branches of government. But they are saying that they all three not equal because the lawmakers make a law, so they think they are superior. And then the executive team, because they got the president, so they are superior. And so let's just close down the judiciary. So there will be no law and order. Nobody can explain the law. Anybody can commit crime and go. They will not care anyway. So let's see whether they are not important. Or let's close down the executive. Let it be only the judiciary and the legislature and see who will run the government. Or let's close down the legislature and have only the judiciary and the executive and see who will make a law. So the three branches of government are equal. They may have different functions, but they are not independent of the entire government. No, the thing just the head alone got three type of brains. Okay, the medulla, the cerebral, and I think one other one. Okay, if one of them gets affected, that's why you see a drunken man cannot walk straight, because the cerebellum, which is responsible for balancing you, that runs from your brain, by the back part of the head all the way to your spinal cord, gives you balance. So the moment you drink, it becomes weak, so you cannot balance. So what happened to the other two brains? Are they not working? They are working. But why they can't balance? It's just that they got separate functions. Okay. So when I hear people say, "Oh, and the Supreme Court cannot melt the metal into the judiciary because they're separate," no, if they have failed, the head will not move, the legs will not move, the brain will not function. Similar, so if the brain fail, the head will not function.
The Supreme Court tomorrow will not say this group right, this group wrong. What the Supreme Court going to do that, because they said it, what you didn't do, go and do it. That big Latin word they use, that same word now they're going to simplify what it meant. But they will not say, ruling, how they call it, majority you wrong, or minority you right. They will not say it.
But Paul, listen, Paul, since they keep under fire, trust me, I do. It's my own assumption that they will come up supporting one side, because we all said they're gonna rule. They're gonna rule in favor of one side. I mean, just to be very judicial, being in the legal parlance, they're gonna rule in the favor, in favor of one side. Yet, but wherever side they rule on, the other side will just definitely not want to concede. They will all say that. So I think
where do we go? Because
the only thing here
you gotta go to the court.
Yeah, I mean, if I see in the court, I don't see lean for. I'm not trying to discard or discount the authority of the Supreme Court. This has been ongoing since our democratic era. So we started to practice true democracy after the war. When everybody in the House, because the House of Representatives has gained enormous power now, that everybody feel that, they are not unto themselves. These guys drive on tear lanes, self-created tear lanes. You have to stay there already. They created their own budget, pay themselves, do other things. So any one of them will come out and say they cannot honor the Supreme Court ruling. They will agree, but they will not honor it. So I don't want people to be over exuberant. The expectations for tomorrow we end this saga. Negotiations, one way or the other, will be the way forward. Other than that, we'll have two speakers until 2029.
So after this Supreme Court clarification tomorrow, we can't call it ruling. They just want to clarify one simple English language that we got lost in the process. After they clarify this simple English, they make that big English very simple tomorrow. The drama continue. Is that the place now that one person will say, okay, at least we got clarity from the Supreme Court, so based on I'm going to back off or back down, that I don't need a position anymore. Since the Supreme Court has clarified the whole thing, so we move forward. Let the country move forward.
But that's
Is
the
that
point.
where somebody
That's the
may
point
be
I'm trying to
diplomatic?
make. That's the point I'm trying to make when I
Right.
said after they clarify and back it by law. Remember that every decision or every ruling or any clarification, whatever you call it, once the Supreme Court makes anything like that, it becomes law. You see it? No, I did a little bit of law, shaping law.
It's a precedent. It's not a law.
No, of course, it becomes a law because the judge feature cases by it.
Yeah, but it's a precedent case, so you can go back. You can
It's a
go
precedent,
back.
so they set a reference that for the
You make
future
reference
it can
to it.
always
So,
be refreshed.
when the
Yeah,
countryman
It can be referred to it,
when
but
the countryman says
you can
when the countryman says you can apply the new map on the old map, that what it really means. You see?
Yeah, but Linford, let me just say, I just want to make it clear. I'm not disputing what you're saying, but I'm saying that look, it becomes a precedent to use it to judge other cases.
Yeah,
But
they'll make reference to it.
But the other, it depends who the judge is. Some judge you may use as a precedent in a negative way, can use as a precedent in a good way.
Yeah, then it affects the case that is in court at the moment. That's the point I'm trying to make. It becomes a law. Because
not a law. It becomes a precedent case, not a law.
Yeah, okay. What you call it? But what I'm telling you, because it's like conventions that you listen to all the time. The other conventions don't just come. Conventions will always come after something, because they use the incident that took place to make that new convention. Okay, let me just limit it to my own profession. In shipping, you hear all the IMO convention, number this and that. They come in after something happened. And I still remember I asked a question to my professor. Why is it that all the convention you do make it before to deter what will happen? Then he asked me, "Can I ask you?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, how do the people know, or how does the IMO know that this will happen? They don't know. So they will happen. Then from there, before they can see it and evaluate and say, okay, this is what we need to do to avoid these things from happening. So it becomes a okay, like you said, a reference point. Okay, and it will affect whatever case is in the court at the time that they are referring to that old case for. But that's the point I'm trying to make. So whether it becomes a law or whatever, but at least it will determine the outcome of future cases. So
Yeah. I mean, but anyway.
So tomorrow, I still want to say that tomorrow's ruling or clarification will in a way help to solve this problem. And the person, somebody will say, okay, send the Supreme Court have clarified and giving information, laws that back their decision or their ruling or their clarification, then I think I don't have any more war to fight. I'll back off. It could be Kofa, it could be Richie Kun, but somebody will have to back up, and this thing will have to resolve after the Supreme Court, because they cannot go on like this. Or else, if they want to continue to go on, I think it will be the executive that will come in to resolve it. If the executive cannot do that, then maybe what you guys were saying earlier on, the constituencies that these people come from, they will not start putting fire on them and say, we sent you people to go represent, or we didn't send you people to go and be for the world speakership. So therefore, tomorrow will be the final decision, I think, or the final court process in the entire thing.
So
before you leave, there was a question I asked earlier that the Pope passed away on Monday, right? Jesus Christ came on Sunday and he died on Monday. Jesus took him away. Will it now be the time that African or Africa will somebody from Africa will now become the new Pope? Is because we worship. Well, the reason why I'm asking this question is we more how they call it Christian than the Westerner, and we beat this drum everywhere that even in the UK here, all the warehouses become packed on a Sunday that we set up, we go to church, we worship. But then when it comes to the higher decision making, we know where. So this time around, we will have an African Pope. Just a prediction possible that they will have an African running in this thing. And to our audience, what your thought? Will we have an African Pope now? And all of them, and all Westerner? Is it about time that they look at Africa? We believe more than them.
I mean, I don't know. I'll speak as a Catholic. I'm a Catholic, and the Catholic Church is larger in South America. Most of the Latin American countries, they are all Catholic countries. Like Africa, a few countries. I mean, the Catholic Church exists in countries, but like Latin America, I mean, almost these are countries are, they are 90% of the citizens in all the countries are Catholics. But yeah, it's the stuff. Here's the trick. Pope Francis was the only pope, a Catholic pope from a Catholic prelate from the Latin America, that became all the popes. They were European and mostly Polish, Italian. So yes, sister, where the money come from? Church politics is just like ordinary politics. The money comes from way in Europe and America. So, and they go to meetings, they go to the convention, they have the clergy or they call it conclave. They got the conclave, where people, the guys goes, African representatives, and they'll, and they go and vote for it. But the elected who was that last guy from, I think it was from Nigeria, that Nigerian bishop. He was I mean, other than that, I've not heard any. I've not heard about any other African, reverend or priest that is so close to that. We will see. We don't know, because most of the times, those who are named bishops, who are named popes, that are relatively unknown to a lot of the people outside the world. So we may brace ourselves, I would say, that's it. Brace ourselves for some, maybe, a European, and it won't be, a Latin guys from Latin America, But we never know. I mean, the guys do that stuff in house, and that they go and choose the right person. It's all but which side you lean on too, because Ressinger, the guy from Germany, that this Pope succeeded, he was short-lived. I don't know what he did. Yeah, he was short-lived. Stayed there 2 years or so. Then the Pope Francis took over. So they asked him to resign. He resigned. So by Saturday we'll know who the new Pope will be after the burial.
Wow. So Linford, you don't think it's time?
Let me get. No, they're talking about African Pope, because you got a few handful of people making noise and they rosary in Africa. Forget that thing. The same way, ask yourself whether an African country will become permanent member of the UN. People looking at, this is a hurricane. Consider this, that Africa is at the bottom of the ladder. So until you can reach there, Africa is, you can make all of Africa Catholic. They dance or they do everything. They are just members, simple members. And Francis,
but no, let me hold you right there. We have Kofi Annan. Africa was the head of the United Nations. So why not? So you don't have to be permanent.
We're not talking about those things, man. You see, President Bwaka appoint me as superintendent of Bonkante. So what does that mean? I'm just some maybe what is UN? We're talking about members that can decide. Not one guy who they say, the guy are there now. What the guy the Asian guy are there.
Qatar is from Asia. You from
the Asian guy left from there. South America.
Bakimu.
Bakimu I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay. But and now Kofi Annan, we have Boutros Ghali from Egypt. He was there. We have Africans there. But the point I'm making is that there are few things that the Catholic Church will look at. Number one, they look at like Francis said, look at the whole of South America, some country, the entire country that have, the Philippines, 99%, the Catholic people, 99%. In fact, all our religion, all our churches came from within the Catholic Church. The others saw something that made them to break away from the Catholic Church to become what they are. Okay, so in fact, I was listening to some commentary from the Philippines. There's a guy from the Philippines that they are also nominating. So forget about African country becoming. I think the closest any African country will come to is what Francis was talking about, the Nigerian guy. That's it. You can be some prelates, you can be something that I think they're in that building. That's it. But to be Pope, leave it. You know, case. Nada. You don't have the money to support them. And again, the Africans don't keep secret. The Vatican, that place is the most secretive place on the entire planet. Okay, so you're not going to open it to all kind of funny people. Then let me tell you, there's a book I read. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I read this book and I trust the author. He's from Ray. I think I know whether he's still alive, from the UK. The guy's called William Forsyth. The name of that book, the title of that book is The Visible and Invisible Governments of America. If you read that book, you know that Donald Trump, that president of America, he get the one that the people elected. The real presidents are there. They will introduce the moment you become president. After 48 hours, they introduce you to the real president of the United States. This is the man that you take order from. Simple. And there's a least man in our building, in our warehouse. So this is a deep-seated society, secret group. They cannot just open it to every time they get to some poor African country and say you got that members are. In fact, so forget it. Me, you see me, so I can hear my clothes, all my hair can reach. So if Africa, you're thinking about becoming Pope, you'll waste your time. You'll forget it. The best you can do, you'll be member of the Catholic Church.
You'll be member in your discussion. Anyway, guys, we've been here for nearly 2 hours now, so I think we can round up. So, guys, I will start with Francie. You want to summarize of what we did? How was the show? Talk to us, and then we can close all.
The show was quite interactive. We highlighted issues, 20 social and political issues, crisscrossing the continent of Africa and the war in Ukraine, the attempted coup in Burkina Faso. Yeah, I think that some of the coups, perceived coups, is intended to placate, or not to placate, but to galvanize his base, get support from the people, sympathy from the people of Burkina Faso, because a lot of stuff he promised, especially in relation to the insurgency that's going on, and these guys are gaining grounds. So I think it's a ploy to to say, hey, I'm trying to fight for you, people fighting me too. So yeah, and then the war in Russia, a war in Ukraine with Russia, that's a long haul. It just requires political negotiation. Putin's agree, because no amount of persuasion of support to Ukraine will end that war. Except Putin agrees. And then the elections in Liberia. Look, there will be a winner by tomorrow or day after. Whoever wins, I hope that the people will accept the results. As I learned earlier, Madam Ide Congo, where she was complaining already that the election commissions did not give out observer cards also to one of the one what how you call it observers at one of the polling stations, and the result it was as a result of election commission that's giving the requisite numbers of registrations observer cards to each candidate. Yes. So it's just that I hope that people will not start crying foul at the initial stage, and that the best person win. You can't do more than that. Yeah, the country has to move on. No one person, is appointed to be, senator or no. It's no. Everybody has a right to contest and win. So yeah, and serve these people. Yeah, but on that note, I think it's good for me. I would say good night from my end. And I know it was a long day
Friends,
tomorrow.
before you go, there is a result have been posted on the bottom line page from polling precinct 2161, and Samuel Coker got how to call the NDR got 117 votes there, and either Gongo where she got 4. Linford, you see where the low 10 is. This was posted on the bottom line page by Jala. This is just a voting thing coming out now. Then they posting things from there. So the low 10 out could disadvantage a lot of people in the thing here. See, so that's
but when we keep talking about low turnout, you got to know the population of the area. So
yeah, I agree. So I mean,
low 10, oh, bro. You got population, you cannot do it. Low 10.
No. Listen,
bro.
Listen. You can't.
Low 10 or low 10, oh.
Okay, now if you got a town with a small town with 10 horses, then you got another town with 1,000 horses. So you expect the town with 10 horses to have the same number as the town with 1,000 horses? You got to know the population.
They think it was the people who are not seeing this village. The people generally the whole the turnout election was low. Sandy Kule was low. Gompa it was low.
And they voted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was not turnout. It was not the same turnout as the 2023 presidential elections.
The stuff that I see here that been posted, this remind me of what happened in 2023. Now, this is they call it the Blarley Old Town School. That's the result that come from the precinct. All the candidates go. Let me read the names here. Of Fangalo, the first person he got 2 in that little precinct, and then Mark got. This is Mark Byrne, the CMC guy got 1. Yeah, he got 1. Either Gonglo where got 4. Then they got this other George Parkinson also got 2. Then Samuel Coker got 117. Then you have the other guy, one Richard here got 2.
Richie,
and then the other guy, Garrison Yellow got 6. The rest of it, that's it. So
yeah, but
Paul, people got 1,000 or 2,000 to go through.
You guys keep talking about low turnout.
I just gave you an example. That's something I see. For us, and you get 1,000.
When you guys keep
let me
talking
finish
about
now, then you correct me. Let me finish now, you correct me. You are again. This remind me of 2023 when the numbers were coming in. That it could be, I don't know the town, where part of the place that this school is situated, but somebody posted there for a reason on the bottom line page. I know the results are still coming. But if you see things like that happening, that the gap is so wide from the precinct. Everybody get 226, then one person get 177. That alone. You remember Appleton? Yeah, I just want to close on our note. So don't say there's so many places, but if that gap is so
I'm not
wide.
so many places. The point I'm making, the thing I want to talk. One of the things you guys keep busy on is the low turnout. So let's agree that everybody voted. If Koga will win with a huge number, it will still be. So everybody turning on will not change anything. That's the one I want to register.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
but
what I'm seeing here, if this election were competitive in a particular hall, you now have one person to get 200 votes, everybody get 111.
Yeah, but then Koga is winning, so that's it. Because myself, I got some results here. I got people send me a lot of results here, but
no,
it's not the election is not about Edith. It's about the people.
I want have a balance of feeling if I go to bed. So I want to know Edith leading somewhere, Koga leading somewhere.
I can hardly read this thing. It's very hard for me to read. I need to magnify on my computer before. But they send me a lot of results here. I got wasting. So whoever wins is it. But the thing is, we were talking about low turnout, the push, and that's the one. Even a two people can, like we said before, somebody will still win, and that person may be Koga. That is people's choice. And whose life will be affected? People in Nima County, right? So somebody already calling Jeremiah Kun the godfather of Nima County here. On my phone here, somebody praising as the godfather of Nima County, that he can, appoint, or he can raise a hand or somebody and the person win. So
but I got where tomorrow. I'll see you.
Anyway, guys, it was a good show. Linford will back here on Friday, but then we'll have the result already. The new senator of Nima County, the new Prince Johnson, the new mother or the new godfather, whatever turn up that Mama Liberia problem. But I'll be looking forward to the bit of information to see which one of the crooks, wherever we're going to go tomorrow. I'll be drinking up my little Jack Daniel and looking at the situation over there. And also,
we're going to ask Tony Ramo, my nephew. Tony Ramo.
We need to also Tony Ramo. I think this is the first time. Tony J. Ramo.
Yeah.
Welcome. And Fifi. And is it Minister Hannah Wise Yati? Welcome. Yeah, a lot of new people. Samuel Saki. We want to say welcome to all of you. This is the Portland Liberia. Make it your home. And we'll be here on Friday again. We come on 2 days in a week. That's Tuesdays and Fridays. So come here Friday, 7 p.m. Liberian time. If you're in Liberia, if you're in the US, depending where you are on the East Coast, it'll be around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And then you do the subtraction from Liberian time. Once you know it's 7 p.m. Liberian time, so you do the subtraction. But if you're in the European vicinity, we come on at 9 p.m. Central European time and at 8 p.m. UK time. That's Greenwich Mean Time. So welcome to the Portland Liberia once again. My name is Linford Goa and Paul Chudope and Francis Mensah. We are all together here giving you the information.
And the July 26th celebration, please.
July 26th celebration, yeah. If you see the gap. If you see the guy reminding us about July 26th, he's the president of the Liberian Association, that is all of the Liberian organization here. The big one for them called EFLA, that's European Federation of Liberian Association. He's the president. That's why he's reminding us. July 26th will be in Belgium this year, in the beautiful antique city of Belgium. Antwerp.
Antwerp.
Yeah, Antwerp. They polish all the goods. So the Damo. So I thought I'll find Damo. I'll walk in looking on the ground for Damo. I'll find nothing. But guys, it's going to be fun in Antwerp this year, July 26th. There will be everything there, football game, dancing, everything. And so, Paul, you want to run our Hans vodka to take us home?
Why not? Yeah.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace. Hems vodka, Liberia number one vodka, Liberia number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hans Vodka, Hans Honey, Hans Bitter, and Hans Original Vodka. Hans Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drank Mama happy. Hans Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hans Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000-979. We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hans Vodka or www.hansvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hans North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hans Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hans Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my core, in my blood. Every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it. We hustle. And forgot that number one. Oh, from Liberia all around. In supermarket store and everywhere. And forgot that number one.